You guys are awesome. I love it. You know that we have to get pumped up on Fun Fridays. I'm so excited you guys are here. We have so many new people with us today. So I'm going to do just like some quick intros before we get into it. So for those of you who do not know me yet, I'm Ashley. I'm one of the business development officers with Alamo Title. And I have so many superstar guests with us today. So I think I have a couple of colleagues with us from Alamo. So I want to start there. If you are here, if you are part of our team, please come off mic, come on camera and say a quick hello. So I'll give you a sec. I think you're out there.
Hey, Ashley, it's Corey. Super excited to be here. Love the music kicking off Friday. So
yay!
That's awesome.
Hey, Corey. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Who else is here?
Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. I'm Erin Sauerhage. I'm so excited to be here. Really excited to see this class Ashley has set up for y'all. You may be hearing from me very soon. Ashley and I are going to be collaborating on a lot of really fun things. So it's great.
Erin, I'm so glad you're here. This is so fun. Okay, and then with us, you know that I always have my partner in crime, social media, Sarah. Give a shout out and a wave.
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Woo woo! And then our super special guest star, Miss Mandy Jackson. Give a wave, Mandy.
Hello, y'all.
Yay! Okay, and we're gonna intro Mandy here in just a sec. So, y'all, just again, I'm Ashley, business development officer with Alamo Title. My background is in marketing and PR. It is my passion, my obsession. I studied that at SMU a million years ago, and I've spent over 20 years working primarily with startup companies and entrepreneurs. So I love this particular lane. That's why I love working with you all so much, because being an entrepreneur is really special, right? And there are a lot of challenges that go along with being an entrepreneur that is very different than being an employee. So I show up every Friday, pretty much every Friday with my team to help you guys next level your business. Sarah and I usually focus on digital strategies. So even if we bring a traditional topic, we're always going to have some sort of digital spin to it. So Mandy is going to have her awesome presentation today. You guys are going to love what she has to say. And then Sarah is going to share a little digital strategy. And then, we cannot leave Fun Fridays without doing a giveaway. So you guys stick around all the way to the end because you're going to love it. And who doesn't love something free, right? So let's get into it. Mandy, I'm going to kick it over to you. Please tell everybody about your fabulous self, and then let's get into the teaching.
Okay, so hello, my Fun Friday friends. I love that. It's such a cute name. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can kind of jump on into it right here. And today we are going to talk about client engagement and engaging your sphere in kind of normal and natural ways that will lead them coming back to you. And happily coming back to you kind of naturally. So to start with, I am going to go ahead and just introduce myself. So my background is actually not in real estate. I happily landed here and I'm so glad I did. My background is actually in events and client engagement and building relationships. I have planned every type of event you can imagine. I've done weddings, I've done conferences, I've done retreats. Even I was the one who planned all of our U.S. Navy submarine ship christenings. That was a blast. And then fast forward, I moved here to Dallas. And my realtor at the time was like, hey, you do events. Hey, would you mind helping me and engage my sphere of influence? I'm like, your sphere what? What? Say what? I didn't even know what those words were. So she took me under her wing. She kind of hired me as that client care coordinator position. I was there for years and I loved it. Kind of building out, mostly doing events, unique POP-BYs, these mega open houses, and doing all these fun things to keep people engaged. That is how, once I was there, I went to a bunch of conferences and different meetings around the nation, really, and I realized there was a huge gap in services, that these poor agents are so busy. There's so many people knocking down your door. You have title companies, lenders, builders. You have all these people knocking on your door all day, every day. But the one group of people that are not knocking on your door is your sphere of influence, which is a critical portion to build your pipeline. So that's where leads came to be, is I help my realtors engage their sphere of influence and kind of do it behind the scenes while y'all work on money-making activities, your showings, your listings, and those things. So that's who I am, and that's why I started. We're going to get right into our agenda. Today, the things that we're going to talk about is why you spend money and time engaging your sphere of influence. Y'all know you got to spend money to make money. So why will we do that? We're going to talk about the effective methods for engagement. For example, events, highlighting what I like to call moments that matter, and mastering the art of the POP-BY. So investment, why would we spend our money and our time on engaging our sphere? So the major real estate publications have stated that between 60 and 70% of every transaction in the United States comes from either a referral or a past client. So now it's more important than ever to build those relationships, continue to build and feed your business. I want to share with you a small example. I have a dear, dear friend and an old neighbor that just listed her home and bought a new home. It was actually down the street in the same neighborhood. And when she and her husband sat down, they wrote out a list of every realtor they knew. Guys, there was 9. There were 9 that she was close friends with. And it was like this awkward thing. She was like, well, who? I don't want to offend anyone. How am I going to choose? So she narrows it down to the final 2. The final 2, and they're like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Yes, no. And they determine that both have kind of done POP-BYs, both have been engaged, both have spent time and money. Eventually, time and money is not just the end all be all. One did more of like POP-BYs, left it at the door and ran quarterly, consistently. The other one was less consistent, but they called, they text, they knew what was going on in their life, and that is who she picked. They did a few POP-BYs, but also that engagement. So when I talk about investment, we're not just talking about a financial investment. There's also a big time investment that we're going to talk about. The one quote that I live and breathe and die by is that people do not buy goods and services. They buy relationships, stories, and magic. And I want you guys to stop and think about this. Are you providing your sphere of influence relationships? Are you providing them stories? Are you providing them magic? If you're not, no worries. We'll work it out. Let's work it out together. We can totally turn it around. It's not too late. And I can teach you some skills and some tips to kind of provide that in their lives. So we're going to talk about those effective ways for engagement. Primarily, this is kind of the meat and potatoes right here, the things I love the most. Events, the moments that matter, and the art of the POP-BY. For the events, when your events are super powerful, they provide this really great opportunity for you to be ingrained in positive memories for them and their family. And also, it just kind of creates that magic that we talked about. When you're getting ready to make that investment of time, money, energy of an event, there's things that you need to stop and think about. And one is, do I want to be remembered, or do I want to remind people about me? There's a big difference there. A reminder is something that like kind of goes in, and then it like kind of just goes right out. It's like a quick, oh, this is a reminder, kind of like the snooze button, you know, like you set it and you forget about it. And then 9 minutes later, you're surprised it goes off again. You're like, oh, then it's another reminder. But to be remembered, it's something that keeps you top of mind. So when you're planning your events, ask yourself that, like, do I want to remind or remember? And will this achieve that? The other things that you really want to do is dig into your goals. Like, what are my goals for this event? And will this event help me achieve those goals? And that's kind of the foundation you want to build your event on. So here are kind of 6 simplified steps to building an event. The first is, like we talked about, determine your goals and desired results. Examples, like perhaps you want to increase your your database in a particular neighborhood, like the neighborhood you live in. You're farming your own neighborhood. Perhaps you want to engage better with your current database. You feel like you have a great database, but it's not everyone's engaged. That's a great example. Perhaps you're just looking at having more touches, like, hey, I'm doing a pretty good job, but I'd like to find ways where I can add more touches. So determine your goals and your desired results. That's first and foremost. Next, your market plan, who you're going to target, how you're going to target them. I'm going to ask Sarah on the next slide to kind of talk to us. She has some great tips and tricks about marketing. So I want you to think about, how am I going to reach these people? Am I going to do Facebook, Instagram? Am I going to send emails like a chipmunk campaign, a phone call, personal invitation, a text that you send out to everyone? Determine what would be best.
Yes.
The third. Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for me or no?
Sure, do it now. Go, girl. Go, Sarah.
Okay. So I'm going to jump in for just a second and talk about an event that Mandy and one of Ashley and I's agents did together. And that's how we met her. And we were so happy we did. But I'm going to share my screen and show you kind of what we did for that campaign. So Mandy will give you what you need as far as social media goes. If you go with her, if not, you'll have to kind of plan, okay, what social media posts am I going to do for my event? Am I going to put an event on Facebook for my event? Am I going to run an ad for my event? Am I going to do flyers? And if so, can I make that flyer into social media post, right? And so everything that you do in print can be translated to a digital strategy. And everything you put online, you can drop by in print or in the mail. So it's a very cohesive strategy, because if you think about it, the digital strategies for actual events and things that you do, they are just the modern day mail. Like, if you think about it that way, it's just modern day mail. So I'm going to show you what we did for this client. Let's see here. This one. Okay, so she did an Easter bunny at a park, right? Mandy, why don't you share just a little bit about this particular event and kind of the background on it, and then I'll show how we marketed it.
Yeah, so this particular client, she was looking, her goal, because we talked about that, the first thing you got to do is determine the goal. Her goal was to increase brand awareness in her neighborhood and kind of build her database for her neighborhood. But she also it was like a two-part goal. The second thing she wanted to do was increase her touches with her current sphere and her past clients, her current clients, invite them to attend. At the time that we planned this, there were still a lot of COVID restrictions. And so the one restriction that we had to do, according to the city that she lived in, is it couldn't be a stop and stay. It had to be a come and a go type of an event. So we created a photo backdrop, and we had the Easter bunny come, and we provided Easter bunny photos for her neighborhood. And for her sphere of influence, it was like her top 20 people in her database.
Yeah. So then they contacted me and said, okay, I've created this graphic. So Mandy created this bunny graphic. She says, okay, we're going to put it on your Facebook page. We're going to create an event that people can RSVP to. And then I took that graphic and I made a digital postcard ad out of it. And the hook that Mandy set up for her is this form where you register for getting your picture. So whenever you come and get your picture, we know where to send the link for you to pick it up. That is a lead generation tool, because now they have names, phone numbers, and email addresses for the people who came and got their pictures made. So we advertised this to the elementary school area. So they picked the elementary school for the neighborhood, and we sent it to a remind list of about 3,000 homes. And you can see here that 1,092 of them matched on that list and saw this event. So we showed it to about a third of the people that are feed into this one particular elementary school, in addition to the warm audience that she's already established. Then after the event, she sent over the pictures, and we put up a video highlighting the event so that people that were not able to make it or that saw the first event and were like, I don't know, they'll be able to see, yes, this was actually in our neighborhood. Yes, this actually happened. Here's the person behind it, and here's what we missed. So that the next time there's an event and they see Andrea's name come across their computer or in their mailbox or on a flyer again, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's the realtor who did the Easter Bunny thing at the park. So we did this really cute video. It's kind of small, but. Nothing major, nothing too complicated, just simple video showing off some of the people so that anyone who's in any of these pictures can share it, with their friends and say, oh, look, there's me. And then here's Andrea, this adorable picture kissing the Easter Bunny, right? So this one is still running. It's currently running now. And it has played through about 150 times and been seen by about 1,000 people, give or take, right? So people are watching it and going, oh, that's what that was, or oh, I saw that, but I didn't sign up, or whatever, and it's still continuing to run. It still has a little bit more time. But as far as digital marketing goes, this was an $80 investment. Like, this is $80 worth of ad spend. So 100% worth it, 100% useful and strategic, and part of what you guys need to be doing as far as getting into new places. So you're always working on your sphere, and you're always bringing in new people and making them warm. So keep that in mind as you plan events, do POP-BYs, those kinds of things.
And to follow up on that, Sarah, a big portion of marketing those events is layering your efforts. So not only, mailers, send out mailers, also texts. When you layer, you'll have a better result. And as in the next slide, we'll do a deep dive into these, and I'll give you practical examples. So the third thing that we want to do is determine the details. What are you going to provide that's going to get people to want to come to your event, where they're going to see it and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. Like, oh, I need pictures with the Easter Bunny. I have the dresses. Easter Bunny's nowhere because of COVID. I'm for sure doing that, right? The fourth thing that is critical, like debatably the most important part, is collecting attendees' information. If you don't have their information, there's no lead generation. You just hosted an awesome event, but you have no ROI. You can kind of remember, like, well, who was there? I didn't know that person. I didn't know this person. There's no way to follow up and build a campaign afterwards. So 5 is to host the actual event. When you host the event, have fun. Go there, be there, engage with the people. And you don't even need to talk about business. You don't need to talk about real estate. Talk about them. Get to know them. Do that hard work of who they are, what they are. So that way later you can bring that back up and use that information. And then the last also critical part of an event is your post-event engagement. And that would be collecting attendees. You use that information that we got, send thank you notes, you add them to your CRM, send them monthly comp reports, and then come up with a plan next quarter to get in front of them and see them again, and do those videos like Sarah did. She did the video of all of the pictures of the event, a short, simple video, so people can see that. And they can kind of build a little bit of FOMO, right? Where you're like, oh, that looks so fun. I wish I would have gone. So that way, next event, they'll see your name. So now we're going to dive into an actual event. It happened last month. It's not the event that Sarah was talking about, but it was an Easter event. So you can see a practical application and a real life example. So this event was in a small neighborhood. This particular realtor is really working on her own neighborhood. Her neighborhood it's just under 200 homes. I think it's 193, if I remember right. 193 homes, small, and she kind of wants to be like the queen bee of this neighborhood. So her goal was, that number one step was to increase brand awareness and her database in a very specific neighborhood. That was our goal. That's what we built the entire event around. The second thing is a marketing plan to target the desired audience. For this event, unfortunately, I didn't know Sarah. If I did know Sarah, she would have done the whole darn thing. I would have been like, Sarah, girlfriend, I need some digital postcards. But what we did for this one is we did mailers. A mailer went out to every single home in the neighborhood about the event. The second thing that we did is we partnered up with the HOA. So the HOA put the event in their newsletter. So every home got the newsletter. We put it on the neighborhood Facebook page as an event, and we also did it on the neighborhood next door. So people were getting it from multiple avenues. It's that layering that we just talked about, from multiple sources. So they're constantly reminded. Determining the details. She really wanted to make an event that was irresistible, that you would never not want to go. Like you would be like, I have to go. So what the details that we had for this event, and remember, the details, you can make them as big or as small as you want. This part is completely up to you. We had a petting zoo that was so fun with that cute, the fluffiest bunnies you have ever seen. It was a hit, and they had like goats and pigs, and there was another, a llama, a cute llama. So we had a petting zoo. We had cotton candy for the kids, the Easter bunny. We built a photo booth backdrop, and then we had a bubble station and a drink station. So kind of people could rotate through, and she really wanted to create where it was a stay and linger and get to know your neighbors. So those were the details and the vendors that we needed to square up. This is where it gets tricky, the collect information. As you all know, I'm sure you've experienced this, people are hesitant to give information, and I don't blame them. Before I worked in the real estate industry, I was one of those people. I was hesitant to give my information, which is funny now because I'm like, what? You'll get an email with a comp report. That's harmless, but people are hesitant. When you're looking to collect information, find a way that's normal and natural. It doesn't seem too salesy, because that level of salesy turns people off. So this is why we did a photo. We had a professional photographer there, and we built a backdrop. And we said, hey, listen, we would love to provide you with these professional photos of your kids holding these cute animals and your family at the backdrop and eating cotton candy. Fill out this form with your email address, and in 7 days or earlier, you will be getting these professional photos in your inbox. And that's what we did. And not one person had an issue in the whole event. The fifth thing is host a killer event. The event happened. I was running the details so the realtor could go and actually enjoy the event. She could get to know her neighbors and kind of not only have just her name brand there in the corner, but also engage with them. So that way she can continue to build her relationship. And then the post-event engagement. This looked, what it looked like is handwritten thank you cards to every neighbor that came. Thank you so much for coming to our event. I loved to get to know you. I'm so grateful for this wonderful community I live in. I can't wait to see you at the next one. So kind of a little teaser that something else might be coming to look forward to. We also did uploaded to her CRM. They get monthly comp reports, and then she has an active plan in 3 months to do another event to get them up and coming and out to see her. So does anyone have questions? I know that was like a lot of event information. Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
I had a question.
Yes.
So I live in a place with an HOA. So like, could I do something like a pool party for the HOA residents?
Oh, I love that idea. So with HOAs in my experience have been really great to work with, but you will need to get approval through them. So when we go to that part that's the details, when you go through those details, you need to make sure one, you can get approved by your HOA, because usually there's an approval process. And if it's at a park or something, a public, you would need to get a permit. Some places you need a permit. So I think I would totally do a pool party. I think it would be so fun, especially if you did like a pool party with like a blow up that had a water slide and really created this fun like summer kickoff party. But I would touch base with your HOA, and building a relationship with your HOA is so critical in these types of events, because now this one agent that did the Easter party, they're messaging her like, hey, when's your next event? How can we help? And they all of a sudden start advertising for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And then and then have a photo op at the thing at the party. So it's like a wall with something and like happy summer or first day of summer or something like that.
Totally. So yeah, if you do this, I would just find a way to incorporate a way for people to collect information, whether you want to do it as like an RSVP, because sometimes HOAs have maximums of how many people can come to the pool. So maybe it's like you advertise it on social media and you have an RSVP where you sign up with how many people you're bringing. So I would look with the HOA what the requirements are and then kind of build it that way.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anyone else have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So who do you have, or do you have a resource to do the backdrops for you?
Right now I do the backdrops, but I'm looking for a resource, and I'm in a room with anyone. Anyone has a resource, I'm willing to partner. But right now I do them. And if you want just a backdrop and you want to do the rest of the event, reach out and I'm happy to help build you something great.
Looks like
Any
Elsa
other
is
questions?
raising her hand.
Oh, yes.
Elsa, you'll need to unmute.
That would be better. Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Sorry, I arrived late to this, but this is a very important thing. I am new to the neighborhood, and I arrived here like exactly 1 year ago when the whole everybody was, not even getting to know each other because impossible with the pandemic, COVID. Mm-hmm. I know I want to be able to get that excuse like, hey, I would like to know everybody. Things are open up. I would like to celebrate. Obviously, I have an accent. I am not Mexican, but let's assume that I want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo and kind of invite everybody to a taco truck kind of thing.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Here we go. I have another person in this division that is an agent, and is a very, kind of mega agent who is not very friendly, or say even hello, So that how you navigate this kind of situation. I would like to offer this to I don't even know who is the HOA, but we have a Facebook group for the neighbors. So what would be the best way? So I put it out there, but I am not being denial, because I have the feeling that as soon as I come out with something like that, this person that have been here before maybe will try to kind of no good idea, like, I don't know. I really want to be the farmer, the person farming this community. I have two clients here because of me that I brought to the community. So, and I live in Salt Lake, so it is a great community to be able to mark. We love to have an idea of how to do that now. Also, because I arrived late, and I'm sorry, everybody. So, Mandy Jackson, are you an agent?
I am not an agent.
Okay, so you do. So you will be able to help agents to this kind of.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I help agents do the events. So this is actually, Elsa, a question I get asked at least once a week of like, hey, I want to do something in my neighborhood, but I kind of feel like someone else is marketing my neighborhood. But I'm here to tell you that's okay, because every single house in your neighborhood is not going to use that agent. Mm-hmm. There are so many people. And I bet, honestly, if you were to look at the numbers, they're just the loudest. So I would say go to your HOA, ask them like, hey, I want to do this. What are the rules and regulations? Figure that out and then plan it. No one can stop you if you are within the rules and the boundaries of your HOA.
Okay. So I would love to talk to you then later, because really guidance on this. And also because I was thinking, okay, I want to be part of the social chair, if there is any, but I don't even know. Okay, so I guess I had to figure it out with the HOA and hopefully,
Yeah,
okay.
and if you want, you can reach out to me after and we can talk through the best ways to do that. I'd be happy to help.
Sounds great. So if I can have your email on the side. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. I just...
Oh, no problem.
Screaming for help here.
Yes, I get it. It's hard. And this is an overwhelming part of real estate because you're already doing so much. And this is almost like another full-time job. So I'm happy to help. If y'all have questions, reach out, call me, email me, text me. I'm so happy to help. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next section. It's my favorite section. Those of you in the room that know me know that this is like my, amen, hallelujah, the most important critical thing. As a matter of fact, if I could tell you one thing to do that would completely transform your business, this would be it. This is it. This is the one. And it's highlighting the moments that matter for your sphere of influence. So every single day, your sphere of influence is experiencing they're experiencing the greatest things. They're achieving major goals. They're also on the flip side of that, going through major heartbreak, devastation. And these are the moments that matter to them. And highlighting those moments and being there and cheering them on for those moments, it makes you go from being a realtor to going to be a friend that happens to be a realtor. And that right there, when you make that transition, that's kind of where the magic happens, where you will start getting more referrals because you're more top of mind than just a referral I hear, a realtor I hear from occasionally, to all of a sudden oh, this is my dear friend and she's a great realtor. Let me give you their number. Every single day, you with the scroll of a fingertip, you can get information about what's going on in your sphere of influence life. I scrolled through mine before this just to see, I wonder, to use practical examples for you. I'm going to walk through some things that were posted on my feed that will probably be posted on your feed as well at some point. Achievements of a moment that matters and ways to highlight that. A lot of this will be handwritten notes, text messages, phone calls. It's the personal touch. So some things that happened this week. Ella lost her very first tooth. Major, right? It's not major to me at all. I don't care about Ella's tooth, but I know that would matter a lot to Ella. So what do? Write a letter, slip a $2 bill in the letter and send it to Ella and say, hey, I saw this major thing happen to you. Congratulations. If someone said that for my kid, oh, you'd be my realtor for life. You have won my heart over because you were there for that small, insignificant moment, but it was significant, right? It seems insignificant, but it is. Another thing is one of my friends became a grandparent for the very first time. How fun is that? That's so exciting. That's a big, major thing. You could send them a box of diapers so they could have diapers at grandma and grandpa's house, right? So that just these little things, and they don't need to be big. They don't need to be expensive, but thoughtful. Sending personal notes for promotions. When kids get leads in a play, they hit a home run in baseball. I've had a lot of home runs this last week. It was an exciting week on Saturday. So many home runs. So a lot of times people say, yeah, this is a good idea, Mandy. Yeah, great. But when? How do I do this? I don't have time. Well, this is a little cheater, a little system that you can do for this is on your calendar once a month, block off a half an hour. And as you're scrolling, just keep a running list, whether it's on your phone or if you're a notebook person, keep a running list of fun things that have happened to your sphere. And then once a month at the last Monday of the month at 10 o'clock for a half an hour, write 5 notes and put them in the mail. Protect that time. It'll change your life. And then do it and then text me. Let me know. I love hearing. That's my favorite text I get. People being like, you're right, it did. And it's so sincere and it's so genuine that really solidifies your relationship with people.
I have a trick.
Teach me your trick, Sarah.
On Facebook, you can actually create a list where you can put people in to a list. So they're your friends on Facebook. You can make a clients list and put them all in. And when you click on that list, it shows you all the posts just from the people that are on that list. So if you like pinpoint like your top 10 to 20 refers, right? You could put them in their own little news feed so you can always be aware of what's going on with them.
That's an incredible tip. And then later, Sarah, you got to teach me how to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone's going to text Sarah after, be like, you have to send screenshots of how
Maybe
to do it.
I'll make a little video that Ashley can send out to people, like a loom of me doing it. How's that?
Yeah, do that and then send it out to us, because that's even better if you protect that time where that last month, because oftentimes there will be times when it's been 2 weeks and I haven't checked Facebook yet because we're too busy, right? We're busy real life, face-to-face combat. So that would be even better if you had a list, you protect that Monday at 10 o'clock, you look at that one little list and see what's going on and write 5 notes. It'll change your life. And I can't wait to hear about it, to be honest. Let me know. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is POP-BYs. I love POP-BYs. And POP-BYs are totally effective. They totally work, but you have to do them in the right way. And I know y'all are thinking, I'm like, well, what's the right way? What do you mean? Is there a right way to do POP-BYs? I'm here to tell you, yes, there is. POP-BYs are so much more than like printing off a free printable tag, dropping off popcorn that says you're popping by, which is cute and catchy, which I love cute and catchy. But when it's kind of almost like typical, it loses the level of sincerity. Where if it's unique and creative, it adds that sincerity level, but then it also leaves your clients feeling loved. It makes your clients feel thought about and considered. It doesn't feel like I'm here bringing you something because I need a referral. That's the difference. So there's 2 different strategies I'm going to talk to you about today about POP-BYs. One is finding POP-BYs that check multiple buckets. And I know you're thinking like, well, what do you mean multiple buckets? And I'll give you an example. For Christmas time, one of my clients, we wanted to check multiple buckets because we want a high ROI. That's one thing we always want to think about. If I'm going to put money out, how can I maximize it to get a bigger return on my investment? So the best way to get a bigger return on your investment is to check multiple buckets. So at Christmas time, we packaged up these fabulous gingerbread house kits, and they looked great. And she dropped them off at all of her sphere of influence and then turned it into a social media competition. So see, you're getting credit for 2 things. Like it's 2 buckets. The first bucket is a pop-by. You go, you pop by, you say hello, you reconnect. The second thing that you do, the second credit that you get is all of a sudden you just dropped off all these gingerbread house kits. And now these people are posting your gingerbread houses and tagging you and advertising you for free, right? And then that creates a social media buzz. So it's 2 buckets. Another example of this would be with summertime coming up, perhaps you wanted to do like a kickoff to summer gift, perhaps chalk, or I don't know, having something fun for the summer for the kids. You drop it off. And instead of just a normal tag, turn your tag into a summer bucket list. Or if you give chalk, one of the items on the bucket list would be sidewalk chalk and swimming at the pool, popsicles at the park, and things that would be fun in the summer. Visit the library, things that would be fun in the summer. And then they will put that on their fridge, and all summer long, they come back to their fridge and check off all of these fun things that they do for the summer. See, so that would check 2 boxes. One, it's the pop-by. They see your face, you reconnect, fabulous. The second thing is you are on their fridge, providing them memories to make with their family and creating these magical moments and becoming ingrained in, because you're becoming more of a remembered instead of remind. So that's another example of these POP-BYs. So we've covered so much information today, and I apologize. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. And if I overwhelmed you, I'm sorry, but I want to remind you, you don't have to do it yourself. I know that many of you have probably have POP-BY sitting on your counter or sitting in your trunk for months at a time. And if you haven't, you get a gold star, because I don't know very many realtors that haven't had I'm going to bring this to my clients, and it just sits there for months because you're busy. So don't be afraid, to get creative. Sometimes you can do mail buys where you mail them instead of POP-BY, and they get a surprise mail package. The other thing is if you want to like do an event or you want to do a pop-by, you don't know where to start, I've got you covered. You can reach out to me. If you're on the Zoom call today, I am providing free consultations. So we can sit down, talk about your sphere, who's your sphere, how to engage them, what would work for you. The other thing that we're offering for this group is if you want to do something like right now, like you feel like if fire has been lit, which if so, I'm so excited for you because it will change your business, but we're providing a pop-by for Cinco de Mayo. What it would look like, this is what the finished product would look like. It's hard to see because it's all wrapped up, but what it is it's a mini piñata that's a taco, and it's really cute. My kids were like, is that for us? And I'm like, nope, sorry, loves. So it's a mini piñata in here, and there's candy in the bottom for them with a custom tag, and we can change out the tag with all of your information. So you can do it two ways, where it can be totally assembled and y'all can go pop by and do the face-to-face interaction. Or if you're interested, we can do a mail buy where we put it in a cute box, package it, darling. So when they open it up, they'll have a Cinco de Mayo surprise. So if you're interested, text Ashley, pop by, the word pop by, and then she'll make the connection and she will get you ordered in. So does anyone have any questions before we wrap up?
So yeah, Mandy, thank you so much for saying that. You guys, I'm going to put my my personal cell phone number in the chat, so you guys can text me right now if you are interested. Let me clip this, Ashley. All right, I just put it in the chat. That is my personal cell phone number. So you guys, whoever is interested, text me the word pop by, like Mandy just said, and then I'm going to get with you because we just have a couple of questions that we'll need to ask. And there is a deadline. We are going to have to connect before next Friday so that I can get your order, because Mandy has a lot of work to do in order to order the supplies and put everything together, and then I'll provide the cost. I have a whole little sheet that I'm going to provide you. So please text me. Do not wait if this is something that you want to do, because like I said, there is a deadline that is not going to be negotiable because we have to order in supplies and she has to have time to make everything. So let's do that. And then come off mic if you have any questions for Mandy. Let's open it up and just do like a quick Q&A, and then I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, and we're going to talk about some digital marketing strategies that can go along with these different components that Mandy just laid out for us today. So any questions before we go on to digital strategy?
It looks like Carrie had a really good question. Carrie Raymeyer, I think. Can you come off mute and ask your question? That's a really good point.
Carrie, Miss Carrie, are you there?
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Sorry. I'm new at this Zoom. I asked if you had any ideas for events for older clients who don't have kids around.
Yes, I actually, in January to kick off, we did an event that was like a yoga event, and it was very fun. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do that are not kid friendly. We've done like a movie night. We could do like a poker night. Really, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, those are good ideas. Thank you.
Okay. It looks like Kristen is asking, is there a number of people for events that you feel work best? Good question.
That's a great question. Honestly, Kristen, it totally depends on the actual event and the venue size. So, and who you're trying to target. That is something that isn't like a cut and dry answer. It would be determined on your goals, the venue, and what the activities for the event are. So I see on there, someone's asking how to sign up for the free consultation. Shay, my number's here and my email's here. Just reach out and we'll get something on the calendar.
Perfect. Okay, anyone else have some questions for Mandy?
Yes. Can you
hear me? Who's that? I think I hear someone.
Martinez. I have a quick question. How do we make ourselves like soft on, like when I send holiday cards, I'm like, I don't want to do a holiday card and just drop my business card inside. You know what I mean? Like in a soft way that doesn't look, hey, here I am, I'm a realtor, you know?
I don't know if I understand the question.
For example, if I send holiday cards,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to just drop a business card inside the holiday card. How can I make this soft that it's not that they open the card and they're like, oh, she sent me her business card, you know?
Yeah. I actually personally, I think that the business card would not be offensive at all to receive, because hopefully by that point you've worked on building the relationship.
Okay.
Right. So the goal here is to build a relationship and a friendship almost.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they already know you're a realtor.
Okay.
You know, so when they get it, be like, oh, that's great. She's good for her. Like, she's advertising for herself. It's not, I think that becomes off-putting is when they don't hear from you for a year. Okay. And then at Christmas, they get a postcard with a Christmas card with your business card. And that's the only time they hear from you. I think that's when the issue comes. But if you're constantly connecting with them in normal, natural ways, and you're highlighting moments that matter, and you're doing fun POP-BYs, they won't think twice about a card. It's only if you have never done anything all year that they'll be like, oh, that's kind of salesy.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
And, Mandy, speaking of that, I know when we were doing some prep for this class, I am huge on strategy, and I was really, drilling into, hey, let's make sure that we share sort of the science behind these different types of components that go into staying in touch with your database. So I remember you saying that you sort of do have a rule of thumb and a recommendation on maybe how many times during the year you should be doing something like a POP-BY. So can you maybe just share a little bit of your philosophy and your strategy around that?
For sure. So POP-BYs, I love POP-BYs. I think they're totally effective. They totally work. There is like this fine line though. And this is what I tell my clients are like, I want to do one every month. And I'm like, no, I won't do that for you. Because that's too much. You want to get to this point where it's, hey, I'm thinking of you, I thought of you, but not to the point where you're going so often, where you get to the point where you have so many things that you've given them, they feel almost pressure to give you a referral. And that doesn't work either. So there's like this happy medium. I usually say once a quarter for POP-BYs. Once a quarter for a POP-BY is really great, 3 to 4 times a year. It's doable, it's attainable. It also makes it so you can do a little bit of a bigger POP-BY, something more substantial, something they won't just throw away. And that's important too.
I'm going to throw one other thing in there, Mandy, just for maybe you to elaborate on. I love the idea of doing these little, treats, right? Surprises during times where it's maybe not when everyone else is going to be doing it, right? So Thanksgiving, yes. Christmas, right? Like we want to stand out. So I love the idea of doing something around a time that is, I remember you sharing Oreo Cookie Day or National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So we pick sort of these like unique times and moments throughout the year where you can sort of like surprise and delight, right? So do you want to maybe just touch on that a little bit?
For sure. And I think I actually just forgot about touching about that because I was so excited about everything else. But one of my best campaigns that I've ever done, the most successful, was National Oreo Day. Because one, who does not love an Oreo? Like, so good. And two, who doesn't love a surprise package of Oreos? That's even better. So Christmas, Easter, Halloween. So they're really fun to do POP-BYs because there's lots of options, right? You like go to the store and you're like, I just want to buy everything. I want to buy all the Christmas decorations. I want to spoil my people. But they have 20 other Christmas gifts on their countertop that they're trying to find places for and shifting, and it gets overwhelming. The Oreos, they're inexpensive. Oreos are inexpensive. I think they're $3.50 for a full case of Oreos is $3.50. I had a client, we packaged them up fabulously. He's been farming his neighborhood for about a year. And he went and knocked on every single door in his neighborhood and bought it's National Oreo Day. Happy National Oreo Day. Just wanted to bring a bunch of Oreos. And it was the biggest hit. Every single person added him on Facebook. It was so unassuming. It wasn't salesy. And that's part of it too, is these fun holidays. Like Nacho Day would be so fun. Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, kind of crowd pleasers. National Coke Day Yeah, bring me a Coke. I'd love that. Like, so kind of highlight these smaller moments throughout the year. It also helps your budget kind of stay down too, because some of these things are not like a Coke. That's not expensive, but so fun to celebrate something small and simple.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. Any last questions before I kick it over to Sarah? Okay, Sarah, let's go for it. Let's talk a little digital strategy.
Okay, so I have two ideas because I feel like I'm like Mandy. I get so excited and then these ideas just start coming into my head. So I'm going to address those real quick. So Brandon, when you were talking about the pool party and the photo op and all that stuff, how about this idea? If you have a cannonball camera, so you take pictures as people are jumping in the pool, right? So they're like these huge splash cameras. So like people will want those, pictures of their kids enjoying summer or whatever. I think that would be kind of fun. Anyway, and then two, Chantel, I think, asked if Oreo Cookie Day was a real thing. And I'm like, probably, but if it's not, make it a thing, because there are so many things out there. You could just be like, hey, I'm celebrating margaritas this month. Here's some margarita mix, right? Like I would if you send me a margarita, I will give you everything for the rest of my life. I'm not even kidding. But anyway, so if it's not a thing, make it a thing, because people will just look at it and be like, this is so cute, right? They don't think I'm going to go to the internet and see if it's Oreo Cookie Day, right? So I love that idea. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my screen and talk a little bit of strategy. First, I'm going to show you what I made to complement Mandy's, March 6th, Lori says, National Oreo Cookie Day. We missed it. Next year.
It's a legitimate thing. It's a total legitimate thing. And there's lots of really fun things like that are just like, there's National Notes Day, and one of my clients is sending like these cute notepads on National Notes Day. So be creative. And I love the idea. Just make it a thing, right? Be confident enough just to be like, it's my thing. It could be your thing.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. A really good question just came in, Sarah, while you're getting prepped. I love this. How do you determine who to send your POP-BYs to in your sphere? Because if you have a big database, and you're working with a budget, and Mandy, I know you and I were talking about that, when prepping for this class. So Teresa, I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah, Teresa, this is one, you really need to first determine your budget, right? And say, okay, what is my budget for I think monthly, like what is my monthly plan? I have several agents that do it differently. One way is I have people separate their database geographically. And this is probably my personal favorite way, because it saves you time. And I get worried about your time. I'm so protective of my realtors' time because I know they don't have any of it. But if you separate it according to geographical area, then you can say, okay, well, I'm going to do POP-BYs in South Lake in January. In February, I'm going to do POP-BYs in McKinney. In March, I'm going to go out. I have like 10 in Fort Worth. I'm just going to make a day of it and do them in Fort Worth. That way, you're not like buzzing all around DFW and taking 3 weeks to do POP-BYs, because we all know that's what happens. It takes time. But if you separate, you can separate geographically. The other thing that you can do is separate it into like your A, B, and C list. And your A's are people that actually send you referrals, or they're your past clients within the last year. And you can send something a little bit bigger or nicer or more frequently to them. And then, like, for example, for Mother's Day, I have a client where we're doing spa kits for Mother's Day. So her A list, she's going for it. It's like her big thing of the year. Instead of Christmas, she's going to do Mother's Day and Father's Day. So for Mother's Day, for her referring her past clients as a big thank you, we're going to do a spa kit that has a box with a bunch of different items in it. And I want to say it's like $26 for a POP-BY, which is a lot. I recognize this. But it's her one of the year. And then for her B list, we found a spa kit. Like we did similar things, but smaller. That's $16. For her C list, a similar spa kit, but smaller. That's $8. And so she has 4 different options that are similar, but different price points. And that's another good way to do it too, is kind of, and as you build your POP-BYs, you'll see people kind of rise from the or maybe on your D list, and they're realizing that you're doing fun things, and you'll be top of mind and they'll rise right up. So that's kind of a fun thing too.
Awesome question. All right. Sarah, back to you.
Okay. I had one more idea, people. If you do a summer thing, like for a pop-by, what about, are you noodling about selling your home and give them a pool noodle?
I love it.
No, that's too cheesy. Okay, put a piece
No,
of
I
cheese
like
on
it.
top.
No, I love it because do you want me to tell you why I love it? I'll tell you my real opinions because I lived in, so you those who don't know me, I lived in Washington, D.C. for a long time. And it just made me brutally honest. And I apologize. I always try to like soften it. But the real reason why I love the noodle idea is because the noodle is something that people will not throw away. And every time they go to the pool, grab the noodles that so-and-so brought. See that, so I like, and noodles are not expensive. Pool noodles are not expensive. So see, when you're thinking of pop-bys, you really have to think, will they throw this away? Was this a reminder? Which means they get it. Oh, this is cute. And they put it in the garbage. Or will they remember me? You know, is this something that will provide moments and memories?
I love it. Okay. So I'm going to talk briefly about digital postcards. I want to show you some digital postcards that I have made recently and kind of what they are and why we made them. I'm trying to move my pictures to the screen. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So the first one, digital postcards essentially are a graphic with some copy. Ashley writes my copy because she's an awesome copywriter, and I create the picture. This particular one was already a post that this agent had made on her YouTube channel. And so we're trying to grow her YouTube. So we're sharing her YouTube videos as digital postcards. So what it basically is a post with some copy. We make it look super cute. And then we send it to your warm sphere. So the people who follow you on Facebook business page, people who follow you on Instagram, people who have engaged with anything you've done in the past online, any posts that you've made, any ads that you've posted in the last year. And then we also send it to a separate audience, so separate ad spend for a cold audience. For a while, we were doing just remind lists. Now we're doing a 15-mile radius just to kind of blow that up a little more. But if there's a specific neighborhood that you want, we will bring that remind list and put that in as well. So we'll mix them together to make sure we're getting specifically who you want, plus a little bit more. So for this one, she had over 3,000 people see the postcard, and 3,000 of those, 3,017 were from the cold audience who actually stopped, looked, and clicked. 140 people either liked it, commented on it, shared it, liked her page, clicked on the video, or watched the video over on YouTube. So that is an excellent return on a $40 postcard, right? If you look at the picture and see right below where it says 18 comments, this sparked a little bit of a controversy because people were talking about, well, you know, why doesn't Zillow just have realtors on staff to make these things accurate? How can a realtor do property value without getting into the appraiser territory? Can people look at anyone's tax rates? That's what's important, not the selling price of the home. Like, there were so many conversations that this agent was able to jump into and provide her expertise and her knowledge and make a fan for herself. So this is an example of one content that she made, and then we were boosting it and trying to get more eyes on it. Another example is this agent. This is actually a blog post from his website. He uses a service that writes blogs that he puts on his website, and he wanted to get a few more people coming to his website to poke around, because whenever someone comes to your website, the more traffic you get on the various pages on your website, the faster your SEO grows on Google. So we're trying to get some people to his website. So this is actually a blog. I created or actually edited the original image to put his face and name so that this is what, Ashley, probably his 4th or 5th postcard with us. So we kind of rotate around. We talk about properties, we talk about listings, we talk specifically to sellers about selling their home, and then we give knowledge, we give expertise, we give value. So in this one, the warm audience, it just wasn't resonating. Maybe they already saw it, since this is a blog post that he probably posted several months ago and they've already seen it, but the cold audience really latched onto it. And this actually, the specific number is 57 for the number of people that clicked to read this blog post. So 57 people. So of the 106 that you see right here that either commented, liked it, shared, and this includes Instagram, which you're not seeing the numbers for on the picture, all of those people are now part of the warm audience. So the next time he does a digital postcard, they will also be in on that audience as well. And then the last one, and Ashley's going to have to share a little bit of this excitement with you guys, is our friend Maria, who this is her, I think, 3rd digital postcard with us. But this is a house that she put under contract, like super fast, over asking price. That success story of, that most people are having nowadays. Like they put a listing on, 570 people want to go see it, and then they get all these, whatever. And we told that story about this house. And what's important about this house is that people see this isn't some like $1 million home. This is a home just like their home. This situation happened to a home just like their home. So they see themselves in this picture and they think, oh, if this house can sell that fast, maybe my house can sell that fast, right? And so, Ashley, why don't you share with us what Maria told you about these posts?
Yeah, I'd love to. This is one of my most favorite things that Sarah and I are doing to help all of you right now. And I hope that it continues, because this ties right into what Mandy was just having her whole presentation about in regards to how to stay in front of your database. So now Sarah and I are adding another layer, another component, like we were talking about at the start of the class, in a digital platform. So this is a way for you to stay top of mind with your sphere and also get in front of new people, right? So this week I had my call with Maria, because what I do every single time we finish a campaign is I go over all these analytics with the agent so that we can step through exactly how the campaign performed. And so she shared with me that she had 2 people that she does not know reach out to her who have been following the content that we've been putting out, and she is now working with them. They are now new clients of hers, and she is currently trying to find them a home. So that, to me, I'm like, that is success. It's exactly why we are doing this. Stay top of mind with your people, but you always have to be bringing new people into your world as well, so that they become warm people. So what Sarah was talking about earlier, I don't know if you guys caught that, but she was talking about retargeting. Okay, so if you see those numbers on the screen where it shows 173, that was the number of times that this content was clicked. And then we have another 154 that talks about the engagement piece, right? So those numbers represent people who now Facebook and Instagram say, oh, these people like your content. I'm going to make sure the next time you put something out, Sarah and I know how to create a custom audience to retarget those people. So now they're automatically going to receive your content. So what's super special about what we're doing here, outside of your organic content, right? So when you post content to your Facebook, your Instagram page, in an organic way, we know that probably less than 2%, sadly, is ever going to see what you post, right? So you go to all of this trouble, all of this stress to put content out there, and then less than 2% of people ever really see it. So what we're helping you do is get your message out to your people. That's why this is really important. So just like if you were to farm a neighborhood and mail a postcard, you're going to use the post office, you're going to pay the post office to send your postcard. Well, now we're paying Facebook to deliver your content directly into the news feeds of your people. So directly into their Facebook newsfeed, directly into their Instagram newsfeed for your warm sphere. And then like Sarah was saying, to the cold audience, which we're doing a radius as well as a remind list. So I love the data and the science behind why you do something. There's always a strategy and a purpose. So now we can be super intentional about the content that we're putting out there that's going to resonate with your people. So I would love for you guys to just, take a baby step and try this strategy because it is working incredibly well. So Sarah, thank you for letting me share that good news.
Yes. Since Ashley follows up and goes over the reports and then gets, the next thing lined up, like we very rarely, if ever, I don't know that we ever have anyone that's like, yeah, we did a postcard. That was great, but I'm not going to do any more. No, it's always, okay, what are we going to do next? I want to do another one. What can I do? Right. So for just you guys today, not advertised for anybody else, just you guys today, I have made a couple of Cinco de Mayo digital postcards. So if you are going to do a Cinco de Mayo POP-BY, this would pair perfectly with that. If you decide, I don't want to, like, it's too soon, I'm not ready. If you want to just do a digital postcard that's kind of festive, I have 3 that I've created for you guys that we will do at a discount. We'll do them, my normal fee is $60. I will do them for $30. Okay, so $30 setup. So half price for these. Let me show you the designs, and they will be personalized with your face and name. So this is the first one, and I just used like a template that had our friend Alan on it. So you're going to see him 3 times because, simplify, right? So the first one is happiness is eating tacos in your dream home. I can get you both. So let's talk about it, right? So wouldn't it be adorable if you drop by like taco making kits to people? Like that old El Paso like box of stuff. Anyway, that'd be totally cute. I would make tacos that night if I had that.
And
so we can
Sarah, it's an idea. If someone wants to do this on their social media and they want to do this POP-BY, I'm happy to use their tag so they match.
Oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely.
So then it's cohesive. So if you want to do both, Sarah and I can work together to make it so it's like this one smooth transition.
That's awesome. Yes, that's a good point too, Mandy. Yes, if you do that, I will send her these after I get yours made. I'll send it over to her for her to be able to put on your gift. And then also any of the digital postcards that we make can be sent to you in either a printed format, meaning Canva, I can order them for you. You can print them, or you can get the file and then you send it to Vistaprint or whoever prints your postcards. These are 100% reusable as actual postcards. Okay, so I'm happy to do that for you as well. And then I had someone actually ask me last week, do you mind if I use this on my website or something? And of course, like everything that I make is yours. Like I don't own it. It has your face and name, and as soon as you say, make this for me and I publish it, it is yours to use however you want to. I am happy to give you any kind of file so you can reprint or blow up, or, if you want to put this in the back of your car on a vinyl, like let's do it. Right. I may do that if I was a realtor. So the next one is, we'll give real estate advice for tacos. That's totally cute. And I had a really good time trying to find the perfect happy taco to put on this picture. You don't even understand. So this one we've got, and if you've got a more festive headshot, I would put it here. Like instead of like your business card one, let's make a festive one where you're like hanging out. And then the last one is just a Cinco de Mayo. If you have different ideas for what you would want to put on something like this, you can let me know and we can specialize it. But these 3 are the ones that are going to be half priced. So $40 ad spend, $30 setup, so it'll be $70 to participate in a Cinco de Mayo digital postcard.
Yay, I love it. As you can tell, we like to have fun around here, right? We like to just put out things that are fun. Another type of digital postcards that we've been doing a lot of are buyer wish lists. Sarah, do you happen to have one of those that we could show real quickly? Because I know probably a lot of you on this call today are working with buyers, and maybe you're having a little bit of a challenge finding them just the right home. So we are always looking for creative ways to help you. So we are doing these buyer wish list digital postcards where we are going to put out there in the social platforms exactly what your client is looking for. And basically the call to action in the post that we're writing is, hey, do you or anyone you know have a home that could be a match for my client? And so that is a way for them to get directly in touch with you. And these are also really super successful. I was talking to one of my agents yesterday, and she shared with me that a realtor saw this post, reached out to her and said, hey, I have a coming soon that I think might be a great fit for your client. And she did, in fact, take her client over there to see the property. So you guys, these are working like crazy. I'm like so excited about it. I just want everybody to be doing these and trying them because like the sky is the limit on the creative things that we can come up with. So we'd love to help you.
Here's one from Mr. Brandon, who's in the class. So I did one for him in the Westridge area recently. So if you look here, 589 people saw it. 406 of those were specifically in this Westridge area remind list. So what we do in this case is instead of the 15-mile radius, if it's a specific neighborhood that they prefer to be in, we'll pull that remind list and send it to them specifically. I don't know if anyone reached out to Brandon, if they did, if they said had any questions, but one thing that I do know is that when people see something like this from you, it does two things. It shows them that you are going the extra mile to help your buyers find a house. Like, you're not just looking on MLS, you are mining the internet for a house for your buyers. And then two, you will hopefully pick up a seller in this area that's like what Ashley said, that's like, maybe I'll think about it. Like, I've been thinking about moving, maybe now's the right time. So it's a double, a layering, like we said before. There's multiple reasons why you would do something like this.
Awesome. Thank you for showing that. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? While we are getting ready to wrap up, we always do a giveaway. So two things. If you guys are interested in learning more about our digital postcard strategy, please text me. Just text me at my personal cell phone number, the word digital postcard. Super simple. That way I know if I get your text and it says digital postcard, that tells me, okay, reach out to this realtor so that I can get you more info. And how that will work is we are going to hop on a super quick Zoom call. I have a series of questions to ask you so that I can figure out what is going to be the best strategy for you. And then Sarah and I put everything together, and it's like magic. She's going to go make everything and we're going to execute everything for you. So it's a very, very intentional and simple process in order to execute it. So just shoot me a quick text.